Hey guys, David from Roo here. Really excited to show you Roo's QR codes. We have them live for about 1 or 2 weeks now, and we're getting great feedback. And I really want to show you how to use the QR codes, how to use them both in Roo's web app and also in the integration in the Make app. And the whole idea behind the QR codes is if you already have a smart short link and you want to bring that link to the physical world, say print it somewhere, put it somewhere, be able to change it, give it like redirect capabilities, like on a schedule, on a click count, or maybe change the URL if it's printed in your store as your inventory changes or your offer of the week. Then in the past, you could create the smart short link with Roo and then go to a third party to create the actual QR code. But now we're enabling you to do that in one place with Roo over the API with the web app and much more. So let's first go to the steps of creating a short link. I'm here in Roo. I'll put my destination URL, Facebook, for example, and I can do everything I do with a link. I can put it on my domain, my link. I can customize the length. I can do what I already do with the links inside Roo. And here under the add-ons, you see that you already have the QR code enabled. Now, QR code, they behave just like the other add-ons. That means they're limited to 50 add-ons usage in the free plan. And then in a later plan, they're either limited on a monthly basis or no limit at all, unlimited usage of the add-ons, just like in our normal pricing. So if I turn on QR code, I can see that I can customize what the QR would look like. I can choose the color, the background color. There are additional customizations. As you can see, I understand nothing about coloring, but there are additional customizations that are only available in paid plans. We'll switch after we're done here to a paid account and we'll see what that looks like. But in the most basic level, if I took a URL, I can add the webhook, I can add a schedule redirect, everything I add to a regular link, I can do that. And also on top of that, add a QR code. I can play with the scale. So if you want to print that QR code in your store, you want to make it in a higher resolution, just change the scale to a higher number than 1. And basically, I just create a short link. And what happens now is I'm not only getting the actual short link, but I'm also getting the QR code. I can download the QR code assets. And what I'll see here is that I'm getting both PNG and SVG file for that. So I have a zip file, and we'll see how that translates to the API as well with the Make app. So you can see I have a zip file with a PNG with the SVG. I can take them, send them by email, print them, do whatever I want with them, just like I do with the short link right now. If you want to change what your link would look like for all links that you're creating, you can actually go here to the settings, go to preferences, and you'll see here you have a QR preferences section that behaves just like the one that we saw. The only difference is that whatever I customize here is now the default template for all links. So let's say I change it to this color. It has the Roo logo. In the paid plans, you can also put in your own logo here. I save the QR preferences, and now when I go to create a short link, it already takes the preferences and template I set. I can obviously change that on a per link basis, but you already have everything set up as far as the actual template of all links created, like the default templates. Now let's see what the customizations would look like inside a pay plan. Before that, in the filters where I see all my short links, I actually have the ability to filter out which links have a QR code. So if I apply that, I get the links that have a QR code attached to them. Let's go to a paid plan and see what it looks like there. Okay, now we are inside a paid plan, surprise. If I go to preferences, I can now press more customizations. I have the ability to change the coloring with a color picker. I can do that as well. I can change the pattern of the QR codes. I can add my own logo, right? So here I added just my own image, just uploaded that as an image, and that becomes my default logo. I can change the default scale, and if I save the QR preferences, then that becomes the default for everything, all the links that I create, both manually and using the API. So let's go to now the Make and see what creating a link looks like when I'm doing it with automation. So here I am in Make, and I see that I have the create URL action that we always use to create a URL. And what you'll see here, I have my URL set up here, my domain, my slug, my alternative slug. And when I turn on the advanced settings like I do for all add-ons, let me just do that now. I can pick yes for the QR code. It asks me if I want to use the defaults, which I've set up, and if not, I can choose to customize everything for the QR. So there's scale, background color, a foreground color, pattern ID, and the logo. I can do it on a per link basis, or I can just say, yeah, use the default and give me that. If I run that now, what happens is I get my short link, and I also get a QR code here of type PNG, and I get the actual data for the QR code. I'll show you how simple it is to just take this and send it by email. So I just created a URL. I have a QR code attached to it. And if I add in the email action here, which I already pre-configured, you can see that I'm sending it to me. I'm adding an attachment, and I'm saying the name of the file, whatever I want to call it, my QR or another name, .png. And as far as grabbing the data that Roo actually created, I'm taking the QR code base64. I'm splitting it on a comma because that's the actual payload, and then I'm fetching the second half of it and converting it to binary out of base64. If it seems a bit complex, we can help you with formula. It's really, really easy. It makes inline functions. And when I run that, it just sent me an email. I'll open my email here. Here's the email that I just received. Your QR code is ready from the sender, and I have the attachment as a PNG. Obviously, I can send it by email. I can also upload it to Dropbox or Google Drive or any other servers, just in the same manner, just taking the actual payload and converting it to binary and just saving it to a file. Now, say you have a URL, you created a QR code in the past, now you want to fetch that QR code. We also have an action here in Make, and obviously in the API, that is get QR code. So let me disconnect the email send, for example. So say I created a link in the past, I didn't save the QR code, but I know there is one. If I just call the get QR code action and give it the short URL, it'll fetch the QR code and I can tell it, give it to me in PNG, in SVG, or in zip file that contains both. Let's stick with PNG for now. And obviously, if you're creating a new URL, you don't need to do the get because you already have that in the create URL payload. But say you have it in the past, you didn't save the QR code, you don't need to recreate it. You can just say get QR code, and you're seeing that you're getting the same data, and you can do the same thing we just did right now, send it by email, upload it to Dropbox, Google Drive, or whatever. So this is the gist of it, of everything that's related to QR codes in Roo. And really, I can say that the power of having physical artifacts, like a physical QR code that can change over time or change as your inventory changes, that's the real reason why we want to add QR code. So connecting the physical world to the logic of the business processes that you're doing with Roo. Use QR codes, enjoy them. If you have any question, don't hesitate to write us. Thank you, guys.